Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Saturday, May the 21st, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Miss Deb Lutz. Deb, how are you on this beautiful Saturday morning?
I'm doing great, and I'm honored to be in the presence of DFS greatness here after last night's takedown. I'm happy that I was a part of that.
Well, I appreciate that, and it was awesome to see how many members got some big takedowns.
Yeah.
We're talking about baseball, by the way.
Yes, sorry.
Unfortunately, yes.
Talk both.
And
Yeah, you probably mentioned it on the baseball pod earlier, but I had to put it in there because even though I'm working with you on the NBA, I am kind of playing a little bit of Major League Baseball, and that was something last night. So congrats.
It was fun. Thank you, and congratulations to all the members and listeners that played. We top 0.5% lineup and a lot of takedowns, and I was excited. I won a $3,300 ticket to a big MLB contest in June. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to get to a live final. I haven't really focused on doing that because I'm a cash hybrid player. Usually I'm playing, for the profit for the day like we do here. But I've been dabbling in some of these qualifiers, trying to get to some live finals. And
it's awesome. That's a big one. You got to start working on that now.
I'm excited. I am. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, my takedown, I was first out of 1,200. So
wow.
that was a good one.
That is, you got to love it. And, the biggest winner straight up on takedown, our buddy Mike S here, one of our teammates, had a 4K takedown with that lineup.
I think he was one out of like 11,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, we were very, and that's, one thing I've been focusing on is you got to have a couple of low-owned hitters. I mean, you can't really mess around too much pitching wise because you can't not have a great pitcher with great strikeouts. But, the fact that we had Darren Ruff and Seth Brown come through with home runs late and, 1% and less than 1% owned, then, you got a chance for something. Yeah. So
it's awesome. Well, congrats on that. Let's do it for NBA tonight.
Do we have to talk about the NBA though? Can we keep talking about baseball? My God. I'll tell you, I was so tilted in that second half with the Mavericks. There were several things. So first of all, thank you everybody for listening to DFS Coach Talk. You're always going to get our opinions and our picks. What we're going to do in this NBA podcast, we'll go over this game. We'll just slice and dice it up, talk about it, and then we're going to build for the first time ever. Deb and I have never done this for the NBA Showdown. We're going to build a two brains are better than one GPP for Fanduel at the end of the podcast. So if you're watching us on YouTube on the way in, give us a quick thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the little alert in the upper corner. We have a baseball podcast that should be posting any minute for the day. Our MLB podcast, if you're playing even the fourth round of the PGA Championship, you're going to want to check out our PGA pod that's already posted. So you want to do that. And I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Prizepicks. If you sign up with them for the first time and use the promo code Coach Talk, excuse me, they will match you dollar for dollar up to $100. All right. I'm going to, whine and cry a little bit here about this Mavs game last night. First of all, came out like we talked about on the podcast, exactly what we said.
Exactly.
They were getting the shots the first game. They just didn't hit them. They hit them the second game. But then for some reason at halftime, Kerr makes a few adjustments. Kidd really doesn't. I guess he felt, okay, we're making them, we're good. And that, the non-adjustments in the third quarter as the run was taking place was a killer. The thing that I'm going to complain about here, and it's not sour grapes because I'm a Mavs fan, maybe a little bit, but I was very frustrated that they allowed Draymond Green to get away with what he did. Now, he got teed up early, but the fact that you can scream at officials, wave them off, which is usually, and just say like this, which is usually a T, and scream, that's effing BS, and using all the words.
Yeah.
He didn't shorten anything in front of the refs. I mean, and then he gets up and gets in somebody's face. I mean, how can you allow that to take place is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. With a player that's known to be like that, I mean, too disruptive.
It's disruptive, and it got the Mavs out of sync. And then you let a guy get away with that, and then
it did exactly what he intended it to do.
He really did. He really did. But he should. My point is, he should have been tossed.
Yeah.
And what I will say though, and I bowed down to him, Steph Curry, man, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He is so much fun to watch. I mean, the shots he hit, they're
unreal.
He's incredible. He really is. So I was disappointed the Mavs didn't use timeouts properly in the second half, that they collapsed a bit. Luka still had 42. We mentioned on the pod, I thought he could get 35 to 40 real points.
Yep.
He did, but not enough. So the scene goes back to Dallas.
The supporting cast, they were hitting their shots. I mean, Brunson, Bullock, Finney-Smith, they were doing what they typically do to win.
Yeah.
The defense, I guess, broke down a bit there, in the second half. And like you said earlier, I mean, Golden State does know how to win. They do know how to pull things out. Like, who would have thought that, Looney would have been the second highest scorer or the third highest scorer on the,
I mean, we gave that out in every podcast so far. Yes. We've said, listen, Dallas's interior defense sucks. They're going to focus on those Splash Brothers at the 3-point line. Guys like Looney, Draymond, who's ever in the paint, they're going to have a field day. And so we did give out, we had one of our listeners that posted on, I should look it up because I was so happy to see he utilized Looney in the captain spot after listening to our podcast. And, it made perfect sense. And what a way to take something down. So that's his Twitter is section.80s baby. That's who it was. So congratulations, man. That is awesome.
That's very cool.
And thanks for the shout out too. But the scene in Dallas will be different. They were down 2-0 in the last series.
I was just going to say, they've already been here before. So
the difference is, though, Golden State is a dynasty. They have multiple championships, and they know how to rise up. Phoenix never has. So, and Dallas doesn't have a single guy that does. So it's going to be tough. But it is what it is. All right, let's focus. First of all, we got to say this. The new green shirt came in. Now, it just got here. I put it on. Is this a good thing for the Celtics or a bad thing for the Celtics? Because it wasn't, I didn't order it thinking Celtics.
Well, first, it's looking good on you, Coach. So you're wearing it well. It's funny. We talked about you threw on the orange and it became the reverse jinx.
The rallying cry. Yes,
exactly. In this case, since you are neither a Boston nor Miami fan, I'm saying it's going to be pro Boston because I think Boston's going to pull out another one tonight. I think they're riding high. They're back home.
Yeah.
They're back to being healthy. And so I'm predicting Boston tonight.
It's amazing. And I agree with you, but here's the thing. When it is so lopsided like this, like everything I've read, every newscaster, every podcaster, Crash, you, me, everybody thinks Boston's going to hammer. Yeah. That usually means Miami's
gonna. Fair enough.
But I'm with you.
Particularly Miami. I mean, again, you have a veteran team, an amazing coach who's been there before.
Right.
So it's a very fair point. And then the one thing I do think tonight, I think they figure something out for Adebayo. I mean, they sat him last game. He looked miserable on the bench. They're playing Deadman, for goodness sake.
I know.
He was they weren't getting him the ball. He wasn't getting any shots up. He was a non-factor. And I think that involving him, Jimmy can't take everything.
No.
They're not going to win that way. So I think they have to figure out a way to get Adebayo in. This might be the first game that I play him in like 2 series because of that.
You know what? It's starting to get scary how much we think alike, because that's exactly what I think. I think that they realize that they are going to lose this series unless they get an exceptional comeback here from Bam, because they can do it if it's Bam and Butler, the 1-2 punch. There's no secondary punch beyond that. I mean, Hero's great off the bench at times, and I get all the other guys, but you're going to win or lose and get to the finals with Bam being the Robin to, the Batman of Butler. And I think they're smart enough to know that. So I'm really high on Butler this game. Bam. Yeah. But here's the thing. This will be the test. If Bam doesn't step up in this game, then we gotta, say, hey, something's wrong with this dude.
Yeah.
Period. But I'm with you. I think Bam's I think that's a great call.
We're taking a shot tonight. Yeah.
No doubt. So let's break this down a little bit. First of all, let me take a look at, let's make sure we have an update to the moment on any possible injuries, because I don't think anything's been added this morning, but we're going to check. Okay, we do have the same 4 guys listed as question. Well, actually 3 guys as questionable. Somebody's been added to the questionable list, Deb, and I didn't see this earlier.
Who is it?
We knew Strus, Tucker, and Vincent would be listed questionable, but they're all going to play. Kyle Lowry is now questionable.
Okay.
So could they dust off the old veteran who's got a championship?
Yeah.
They're sort of desperate times here. And if he plays, does that, mix up the pot with Vincent and Strus and Hero?
Yeah. Boy, it certainly does. I think when he came back in the last series, he played, about 25 minutes? I think he sat most of the fourth quarter. He was
he
horrible.
had zeros.
He was horrible. But it will certainly take away from minutes and usage from those guys. So that is interesting. We're definitely have to watch that one.
And the game's not till 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we'll be following this news on all these guys very, very closely. And we'll be in Discord throughout the day. If you want to join us, dfscoachtalk.com. Come on in and join us. You're going to see all the information there that you need to take some big contests down tonight. Now, the big news on Boston, though, these two are going to shake you up, Deb. You ready?
Yeah.
Nick Stauskas is probable, and Sam Hauser is out.
All right. Well, at least we got Stauskas. So for my captain position,
Stauskas, and then Kyle Lowry is your next guy.
I love it.
But anyway, so we know Boston. Everybody's picking Boston. They're in a groove. It's 1-1. So they have home court back. First game in Boston. The Garden's going to be going ape, you know what? People screaming, jumping off the walls. So it's going to be but if anybody can handle it, it's Miami. So I think this is going to be a great game, personally. Yeah. I'm not believing it's Boston I've seen 6.5 and 7. So everybody is on the Celtics bandwagon. Maybe that's why the green shirt came in. But Boston by 7, and it's only a 207.5 total. So do you think that spread holds? And let me ask you this, because this in DFS, this is really all we care about here. Does it affect the way you build lineups if Boston's going to win this by double digits and some of the Celtics guys lose minutes?
No, because in playoffs, even double digits, I mean, unless it's truly, 25 or 30, you've got your superstars still playing well into the, halfway through the fourth quarter. And they're playing so much before that because the benches are short that you're still getting, 35 plus minutes out of these guys. So it's still, and certainly in terms of the superstars, does it make you think, hey, maybe, somebody like a Pritchard's going to play a few more minutes? Possibly. But again, the bench is so short right now that, even I was watching the end of it, the last game because of the blowout. And, had a couple of guys, we were kind of, hanging on, okay, if Hero stays in a little bit longer, or if Williams stays in a little bit longer and I get a point here or there, I could improve my, my standings. And it was interesting to see at the end of the game. I mean, the guys they really, when you clear the bench, you're still playing some guys that are your sixth, seventh, eighth guy off the bench. So very playable. So yeah, I don't think it affects the minutes too much. I'm actually going with, I really do like both Tatum and Brown. I think we said that the last game, and it did pay off.
It did.
And really just trying to figure out, okay, who from the Miami side to play around them. Because I like Tatum and Brown. I still love Smart. I had Smart in the top position in the last game.
What a game for him.
Wow.
He was our thumbnail for that too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That was awesome. I mean, heart of a champion. Like he just, he makes things happen when he's out there. He's going to be out there again tonight. So it's hard you really can't play all three of those guys.
No.
So that's going to be tough. I mean, Williams is good, but now that Horford's back, his minutes are getting chopped up a bit. So he's not he was really a shoo-in for the first game. Right. Not so anymore. And then the same thing for Horford because of the presence of Williams. So, and Horford's still priced pretty high. Grant Williams, Grant Williams and PJ Tucker on the other side are the two guys that I never seem to get right. So,
well, they're hard. They can have some zeros, or they can
blow it up. So, so I tend to stay away. But like I said, I do really like Adebayo. And so, for me, those are the three guys that I'm highest on: Tatum, Brown, and Adebayo. And probably a little bit of Hero as well. I think he's been playing okay. His price is still down. He's another guy who can sort of on any night kind of blow up. And I think, again, if Miami's going to be like fighting, they really need it to come from Adebayo and Hero.
Am I hearing a Butler fade?
I'm probably going to have to fade Butler. Now, definitely on FanDuel. On DK, it's a matter of money-wise who I can fit in between Tatum and Butler. But on FanDuel, it's going to be a Butler fade.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I toiled with that the last time out too, and wish I would have stuck with my guns because I was all day, going to fade him and play the different lineup, and then 5 minutes before, you do the old switcheroo. Sometimes that works, sometimes it backfires, but it's a tough call. But I wanted to mention too, the question I posed to you. I agree. I mean, you don't have to on these single showdown slates. You don't have to worry about blowouts because the chances are one team or the other blows out. Both teams are going to bench, guys and etc. So you're safe. So that's one thing. Now, if it was a 2-game slate, or if you're playing DraftKings where you can play that too, excuse me, and you think the Dallas game, for the next one's going to be close, you're playing this one with that one, and you think this one may blow out, then that's where you can fade a little bit. But, my strategy today, Deb, I'm focusing on, I believe that Miami has 2 players that can win for them. And I'm going to play them both. And that's Butler and Bam. We talked about it. And it's one of those things. I think Boston has such a better group around them all of a sudden. Yeah. Now, that wasn't the case all year. If you remember when we would look at these games, we'd say, okay, you got to take Boston. When you take Boston, you got to take Tatum or Brown because, they're going to take all the shots. But all of a sudden in this playoffs, Horford's been much better. Robert Williams has stepped up. You're getting Grant Williams
Smart
contributing. You're getting Pritchard all of a sudden 3 games in a row, double-digit scoring. He's taken over White's spot. And, you're just getting, Smart had the best game of anybody last game. So when you start getting contributions like that for DFS, that hurts. So I think where you're not seeing that is with Miami's peripheral guys. Yes, Stauskas will hit a few threes. You'll get some support off the bench. But if you're not seeing a big game out of both of those guys, Butler and Bam, then they are going to lose. And I think I have enough faith in Spoelstra and Riley and that staff and that focus I guarantee you they have bulletin board stuff everywhere. Nobody is giving Miami a chance in this series now. And for some reason, they're dead. And they're still the number 1 seed. So
that's right.
I know you lose home court advantage, but I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be a close game. And I'm going to spend up for the 2 Miami guys, which means my fade is probably just as gut-wrenching. And that's probably going to be Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't play them all.
No. That's it. And I think, and I really do think at the end of the day, if we've got, Adebayo in there and Brown in there, it is going to come down to, and Tatum and Butler may be pretty close from a DFS perspective. It may end up being a toss up. I mean, I could see each of them kind of with 50 points. But but then again, it could be that one has, Butler 2 nights ago had 78, right? And
exactly.
So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be, it's a tough one. This is not an easy, not by any means.
No, it isn't. And it's really ends up, the most important thing is which one of the studs you fade is going to be sort of how it pans out for you. No doubt about it.
Totally.
All right, let's do 2 things. Prize picks.
Okay.
Let's hit some prize picks plays real quick.
All right.
Because we appreciate our presenting sponsor. Yeah. I actually have 3 of them, Deb. So don't feel pressured to have 3 if you don't have them.
I may just have 3 myself.
All right. I'll start out with the one I just talked about. I'm Bam Adebayo over 13.5 real points. That's not that many. I know he hasn't been getting it, but if they're going to win or be in it, I think Bam over 13.5 real points is pretty safe.
All right. Well, you stole one of mine.
I told you only had 2.
Yep. Exactly. You stole one of mine there. So, and in fact, I'm looking, it's funny because I picked them last night but they ended up off my screen. So you may have to give your second one exactly. You may have to give your second one while I
will. Go ahead. You take your time. My second one this is a weird one. Jason Tatum over a half a block. How about that one?
Okay.
He's a half a block shot for Jason Tatum. I mean, he's such a great defender. I think he can get 1 block in this game. So I like those half.
The halves are nice. Yeah. I agree. I was looking for the steals and blocks one for Butler, but it's not out yet. They may not do it because he's been crushing it.
They've been getting smashed on some of those, so I think they just don't offer them.
They don't want to put them up. Yeah. So my first one was Marcus Smart over 14.5 points.
Okay.
Again, he's going to be playing, 40 plus minutes. And, all he needs to do is hit a couple of threes. He's been, he started out like 1 for 10 in the last game and still went over that. So
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he was 1 for 10 at that stretch. And then once he hit that shot, but he did everything else too. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But, his price has drifted up a little bit though.
It has. I may not be going to him because of that tonight yet. Once he starts getting too close to the other guys.
Yeah. I'm afraid because I sort of like Peyton Pritchard, but it's such a trap. I'm scared of that play, but I think it's sensible if you want to make salary work,
Well, except that White is back tonight, right?
I know it, but I know.
Yeah.
And that makes me not want to play him, but I don't know how you go to White over Pritchard right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. Although they'll probably bring White in before Pritchard, but they won't. They'll keep him on a short leash, maybe.
We'll see. I think personally, I'd bring Pritchard in before White. He's earned it. That's just my thing, but it's probably very dangerous to play either one of them.
I would think so. All
right.
So,
prize picks.
Yeah. So my other one was Bam. So you can't play him with your Bam, with the other Bam, but it was Bam over 28 fantasy. I'm
okay.
I'm on the bandwagon, and I think he gets a steal and a block. He gets some rebounds and hits that number.
I love it. I can't believe we both turned the corner on Bam.
I know.
We've been benching him for quite a while.
It's either going to be a very well-timed call or a disaster.
Exactly. No in between, probably. But
Right.
My last one is Al Horford over just 9.5 points. That's it.
Wow.
9.5. So, I mean, I just think that's a low number. I know Robert Williams is playing well, but don't forget how Al Horford played against the Bucks. He beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
So, to get double digits here, I think he can get 10 points.
That's an interesting one. I'm surprised it's that low. Yeah, I'm really surprised it's that low. What did he do in the last game? I didn't.
He was okay. He only took 5 shots, I think.
Yeah, they didn't. Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
I mean, it seems. I mean, and he had missed a game, so you think coming back he'd get a little bit more into the flow of things. He was 4 for 4 from the field. Hit both of his threes, so he had 10 points. So he'd have gone over it in this one. In that one, with only 4 attempts, I think he gets 8 or 9 shots up minimum.
I agree. I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right, let's go to 2 brains are better than one.
Let's do it.
Fanduel GPP, first time ever for Deb building.
Yeah, this is exciting.
A GPP online, on live here on our podcast. So we've got to figure out a lot of things here. There's no doubt about it.
It's got to be tough to do with a 1-game showdown here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tight, but we'll figure this out. So since it's your first, I'll let you handle the pressure of the 2X MVP.
Man. All right, well, you're not going to like it.
Boy.
I'm going with Tatum. We're going to start
and that's
with
my fade. That's
okay. Exactly. I know.
It's perfectly fine. I can accept it. I know we're going to be digging here, but we'll see if we can make it happen. I'm going to go Butler.
Oh, wow. Woo. Okay, let me
So now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's a lot of scrambling from here, but
all right. We can make it work. We got some ideas here to play with because
this is an important one because it's 1.2.
It is. So, I gotta go with Bam. I mean, we've been talking about him the whole, pod.
I don't know if we can make it work though. We can.
I think we can.
Oh man, Oladipo looked like dog, last time. Jeez.
What was up with that?
All right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Peyton Pritchard, 7,000. Wow. I think he's earned it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. If he comes in second off the bench, I mean,
we've got Tatum, Butler, and Bam. It's not like we need a guy to get 40. If he gets 20, we're okay.
Well, so here's the thing that's interesting.
If
we have enough money for Lowry, if he plays,
right?
Do you play Lowry over Grant Williams?
I would if Lowry starts.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we put Lowry in?
Let's do it.
And then so it'll be Tatum, Butler, Bam, Pritchard, and Lowry. And what we'll do is if Lowry's ruled out or there's some limitations, we can either go to Grant Williams or Max Strus.
Yep.
Or Gabe Vincent or Oladipo. So, I mean, who would be your backup so we can at least let them know on the podcast if Lowry scratched who to go to? We will post it on Twitter and we'll put it in our Discord. But who would your backup choice be if Lowry's out?
Yeah, I think my backup might be Strus tonight.
I agree.
I think again, he's been playing solidly.
And I think the one that suffers the most from the Robert Williams, Al Horford both being in is Grant Williams.
Yeah, I agree with that. Certainly offensively.
He's squeezed out a little bit there.
What do you think for our members? I've been looking. It's really tough to do in these 1-gamers, and I know he really only played in garbage time. But do you think, Duncan Robinson was part of Miami's run, the last time. And it's amazing that he's become, they've really just said, hey, we don't think you can do this. And they're opting with Strus. I don't know. Do you think they pull him out at some point and have some confidence in him?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think that was just strictly garbage time. And he's a gifted shooter, but he's been out of the rotation for quite some time.
For a while. I know.
You can't throw a guy in there 1-1 in the conference finals and get, if for some reason they gave him a little run, 6-8 minutes, not enough to put in the lineup.
Yeah.
Now, if Strus got ruled out, then you have
that's a different story. Yeah, that's a different story. But I think the Strus, game time decision that's been going on for the past 4 weeks.
It's been ridiculous.
Okay. So, all right. So I think we got it.
We got it. And we'll keep everybody informed there. And we'll have 2 different strategies. Really, it's going to be, fading Butler for Deb, probably fading Tatum for me, probably. Neither thing sounds very good, but that's DFS. You got to pick your spots.
Yeah. And we got them both in here. So
and we got them both in this one. So you're going to get a little bit of everything. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Deb. We'll certainly be back here on Monday for this game 4. We'll see if I bring back the green shirt or not. That'll be a big question.
Yeah.
See how that works for our Celts fans out there. So thank you very much. Any final words?
No, I think we're good.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening in. Thank you to our presenting sponsor. That's Prizepicks. And if you haven't done it already, prizepicks.com, use that promo code CoachTalk. They will match you dollar for dollar on your first deposit all the way up to $100. And we would love to have you join the family when we're red hot. This is the time of the year that we got hot in baseball last year. Big takedowns, and it's happening again. So DFSCoachTalk.com. Come on, jump in, try us out. So, all right, Deb, have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy your day and enjoy the basketball this evening. Awesome. And we'll see you again on Monday.
Sounds great. Take care.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Enjoy your day, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and Prize Picks.